Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and this is my sketchbook tour of the second half of the year. So this is the second half of 2023. I have 2 days left. We're going to do the second to the last one together. But I thought I would show you what this one looks like. If you want to see what the first half of the year sketchbook tour looks like, I will link that in the description box below. Let's get started. So this is Histology 365. And I did try to use a variety of mediums. Colored pencil. I love birds. I love monochromatic. I don't know what to tell you. There will be more birds later, just you wait. Birds are kind of magic, aren't they? I like monochromatic. It takes less time. It's time saving to do it this way. And then depending on the color you choose, it really gives it a different sort of feel. Some feel warm, some feel cool. This is a toucanette. This is charcoal on this paper. It has been sprayed. I cut up a vellum bag to create sort of a sheet protector on here. Anyway, that's what that is in case you're wondering. And then we get into a lot of ink, a lot of different types of fine liners, brush pens. I love brush pens. On this page is probably my absolute favorite. This one is so empty, but it's my absolute favorite medium on this surface is a brush pen. It's colored pencil, 2 of them actually, and not following along with prompts or prompt lists has really helped me lean into the things that are my favorite. I really love portraits. I really love trying to figure out negative space and shape and form and what I can get away with and what I can leave out. Here's watercolor. This is indigo. I love indigo. It is my favorite blue. Again, more portraits, more brush pen. You can't see this. Maybe I'll zoom in. There are multicolored Pilot pen stipple dots in this portrait. Some of these portraits have some really interesting details I tried to add, and you just can't see it when it's zoomed out, so I thought I would show you zoomed in. Anyway, that's what it looks like up close. Alright, let's keep going. Again, colored pencil, monochromatic. This is the Caradosh Luminescence. This one too. And I really didn't use any solvent. I wasn't trying to make this look like anything other than what it is. You can use solvents to really smooth this out, make it look like smooth pigment, make it look like paint if you want. I don't mind my colored pencil looking like colored pencil. This is watercolor. Sometimes I try my hand at botanicals. Again, this is not my favorite surface for watercolors. The blending takes longer than I would like. And a lot of times I just don't have the time. And I wish I did. Here's another watercolor. I was trying to do sort of that look up through the branches, leaves, like looking up. But it just looks like flower pressed leaves. It just looks like I smashed stuff. Anyway, lots of May green. Okay, here we get more mixed media. So there's like an Art Deco pen, there's watercolor, and then there's brush pen. I like this pen. You just have to be careful because oils and things bleed through. This is brush pen and Pilot pen. I do a lot of Pilot pen. I really like the opacity. I really like how strong and vibrant the Pilot pens are. They are a fugitive ink. They are not light fast, so that's something to keep in mind when creating with different pens. Is a lot of this would just be for print reproduction or scanning and having like a digital portfolio. This is not stuff that you would want to like gift because it would just fade. This is colored pencil and brush pen. This is pastels and brush pen. I was trying a thing. I'm not sure what thing it was. This was in maybe June, July, so I don't remember, but I was trying something. Colored pencil and brush pen. I love hair. Hair is so much fun. It's a real simple light from this angle and what that looks like on the other side. And practicing light from different angles is a great way to work on doing portraits and faces and understanding lighting. Colored pencil and brush pen. I think this is a peony. It's a really pretty flower. I really like that flower. Brush pen. And this is sort of lighting. This is very strange lighting. Multi-angles. It's very strange. Welcome to an illustration I did not finish. So this is colored pencil. And I wanted it to look like tree roots. This portrait. I don't know. I was in a mood. Anyway, and I thought it'd be fun to add different colors within. So I started adding, it looks like violet, in with this sort of, gosh, warm yellow. And I didn't finish. I did not finish. So will I go back to it? Probably not. I mean, I know what I meant. I know what I was trying to do. It's a lot of fun practicing twists with highlights and shadows. And this is a tree person. Brush pen. And working on eyes. I don't want things to be perfectly symmetrical all the time, so it's really fun to have a side that's a bit more shadowed than the other. It's a great challenge. Like, how many different ways can you draw eyes and have them go together but not be identical? Yep. Brush pen. Oh, it's a brush pen. This is colored pencil. And his face is falling apart. Trying something. I'm not sure what I was trying. Bird. This is brush pen, Uniball Signo, and then this is gouache. So white gouache is really, the permanent white, the Holbein is really opaque, and it layers really well over things that aren't waterproof. So brush pen, when you lay other inks on top of it, can just become a smeary blob, and gouache works really, really well to layer on top to create the effect of stars. Brush pen and gouache. Lots and lots of dots. There are botanicals here. Sometimes adding botanicals to a face works, sometimes it doesn't. It's, again, what's best is your opinion. Colored pencil, this is indigo. This is a polychromos. A little journal entry with a little portrait. And Uniball Signo, this is the high flow, works well on the brush pen. An abstract day. Some days are abstract. So we have Uniball Signo in silver and gold over watercolor of some of my favorite blues and greens together, and the different combinations all those make. Brush pen. Kind of mad. Kind of mad. Kind of shows. Again, brush pen. Kind of looking up. This is another one that has a lot of pilot in multi-colors that kind of looks like confetti on the page with brush pen. I really like portraits. I really find everyone absolutely beautiful. It's just a thing. Again, brush pen, and lots of stipple, lots of dots. I really enjoy listening to an audiobook when I do things like this, because it can just kind of turn my mind off and just doop, doop, doop. Lots of dots. In profile, into the side. You know, I thought about later. This is my first time going through all of it at once since the year's almost over. But it would have been cool to like do nothing but side profiles and then cut and then have like a weird face shaped book. Anyway, that would have been fun. but I didn't do that. So I have just outlined this with Uniball Signos Gold, and then there's a lot of gouache with the brush pen. Yep, and brush pen and Uniball Signo. And botanicals with a portrait. Again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think this one looks fine. I like the negative space here for the chin. A little gold with my black and white. This one's heavy on the black and white, isn't it? Adding fingers. Fingers are weird. Can I just say I'm not the best at fingers? I'm just not. And they don't take perfect shape when part of the shape is the shadow, and that can be a challenge to convey. Facial hair. A practice in facial hair and light and dark. So the light's coming from this angle. Colored pencil. And the flower is the negative space. So I didn't color anything, and that's the actual page just shining through, along with, you know, the nose and the forehead. But I figured only one eye was needed. So I don't know. Creative licensing. Sort of comic book-ish style, maybe? I don't know. Brush pen. More brush pen. Working on hair highlights and hair bits. Hair's fun. I do love hair in the face. One of my favorite things ever is just hair flowing in the face, coming through. I don't know why that is. I just really enjoy it. I think it breaks up the face. It moves your eye around. You can really manipulate the direction people look at your art when you bring hair on the face. Bird on, it's like a ribbon stick. I don't know. So, a bird. Lots of birds. Here's a fine liner one. I believe this was with one of my videos. Here's another one. This is brush pen with colored pencil highlights. So I left little spaces and then filled that in with different colored pencil. Here's another charcoal. So it has protector sheet, and then Uniball Signos High Flow can go over charcoal. So I did that with gold. Made of stars. Kind of, in my mind. Keep in mind, if you're going to use charcoal on this very smooth surface, it is a bit more work blending. It does get streaky. So you will spend a lot of time trying to lift and make sure the streaks aren't so noticeable, but it can be done. I don't know if it's done well, but it can be done. Brush pen with gouache. Lots of gouache. And I can feel it. I can feel the raised texture, which gives it that nice thick opacity so you can't see any of the black through it. Brush pen. People smiling. Teeth is a tough thing. Teeth is a tough thing. And I have an easier time with it with pen and ink because I just don't add any. So, less is more. Yep. Brush pen. Now you know why I went through so many. Lots and lots of brush pens. These don't take as long as you'd think they take. So these take less than an hour for sure. And I use model photographs from models, and I try and stylize them and change them up and flip direction and do stuff with them. So it's people that are already consenting to having their photograph out there in the world. And some stuff is from my imagination. Again, hair and strands with pen and ink. It takes practice. I'm working on it. Every day is practice. And some of this is what practice looks like. Here's a hand, me trying a thing. I do try. I do know where I lack ability and keep going with it. So here's a colored pencil with pen and ink, and then a little bit of gouache going around here. But a fun little bird. Portrait, flower. Not my favorite. Here's another like journal entry, and I decided to use the dress. as the writing portion. So Uniball Signo on a brush pen. Here's another one where I added multicolored pilot pens with the brush pen. So I really like sort of that little tiny, if you look closer, you see the color, you see the brilliance. It's just brush pen. Colored pencil. And trying a thing. I tried a thing. I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Brush pen. With, yeah, a little bit of gouache. Here's brush pen with pilot pens. A lot of fun. Working on hands and arms, sort of folded in on themselves. Yeah, so getting weird with it. So brush pen with pilot pen with colored pencil, very mixed media. You know, imaginary color. I will link an article about imaginary color, but it's sort of the colors you see when you close your eyes. Right, imaginary color. So trying to come up with some of that. I don't have neons really in my colored pencil jar of all the colored pencils that I own. So trying to come up with things that look a little off and trying to lean into that. That was this attempt. Yeah, it's a portrait. Yeah, it's wild. Nope, just brush pen. And I think I went back in with Micron to add finer dots. And a scarf. There's going to be a few with scarves. Here's another one. Pilot colors with brush pen. This was leftover paint from, I think, a demo. So this looks like Potter's Pink, and it looks like ultramarine blue watercolor. Yeah, okay. Pilot pen and gouache, and trying to add a hand. Yep, brush pen. Crazy with the brush pen, crazy with the gouache, and really leaning into stipples and dots and design. It was a lot of fun. This one was a lot of fun. Right, this is watercolor, and there is Uniball Signo on top. There are leaves. Boy, I don't even think it can be seen. Oh, there it is. You can see the leaves on top of this portrait. This one is brush pen and colored pencil. So, yep. How many ways can I draw a portrait? Yeah, many ways. This is colored pencil and brush pen. This was something from a character's book. I have a playlist of art reads if you're interested in looking at different art books and some books that can be used for art. And one of them had this lovely character here holding a dragon, and so my daughter and I sat side by side during a video and we recreated it, and then I added more dinosaurs and some botanicals in the background that she sort of super laid over. I love dinosaurs. Another portrait. And then, can I show the hand without drawing the hand? These are sort of some of the negative space challenges that one tries to work on when they're working. Like, how much do I show? How much do I not show? Again, it's like creative licensing. This one is a lot of cross hatching. There's brush pen, there's fine liner. Brush pen. Brush pen. I went through a lot. brush pen and fine liner. So, bird. We're going to get into a lot of colored pencil birds, and so we are into the month of October. Coming up. You'll know when we hit the birds. You'll know. This was me announcing that I was going to be doing birds in October. So, brush pen. Brush pen, and yeah, it's just brush pen. So, I don't do a lot of clothing. Clothing is something that is not of great interest to me. Tried some goggles, didn't really work, but I did try. There are some things that I'm just not interested in. So lots of gouache and brush pen. Colored pencil. And it's just how much I can get done with the time I have available. This is the pink brush pen, and I put it in the holder for the black one without cleaning it out, so it turned this really beautiful sort of crushed rose color. This is brush pen with a fine liner. And here we get into October 1st. So here are all the birds that I created. These are all colored pencils. The majority of the colored pencils used are the polychromos. And then I wrote the name of the birds. So, hooded patooey, he's poisonous. This is the cassowary, he's dangerous. Strawberry finch. Polka dots are a ton of fun. Do not discount things that have polka dots. Just allocate more time for making sure you're getting those correct. It is more time consuming to do things with dots. Northern emerald toucanet. Again, I love all the toucans, and the toucanets are just as much fun. Shoebill. They call him a murder bird. And you can see all the colors that I used, and a lot of that is the beak. The Gloucester canary. I think he's my favorite. He has the bowl cut. I'm not laughing with you, sweetheart. I adore you. You're awesome. Stay awesome. Here's the Lucifer hummingbird. A lot of hummingbirds are going through name changes. Audubon is, oh boy, they're changing names, so the birds aren't named after folks anymore. I don't know if this is one of them. I know Anna's hummingbird is going to be renamed. Great auk. This bird is extinct, and it's a bit more brownish, but I chose to do some red highlights just because I love red in my brown. So, purple honeycreeper. There are purple birds. They're beautiful. Fisher's lovebird. Lots of fun colors. I love the bright red with the birds. It's fun. This is a vulturine guinea fowl. This is my first time drawing this bird. This bird is wild. Absolutely wild. I would love to draw this bird again with a different medium, different position, but I'm just here for all the feathers. The feathers are amazing. This is a magnolia warbler. There's tons of warblers that are different types of yellows and blacks, and this is just one I chose because I really liked the striping. The Guinean cock of a rock. There's another one that has more black, but I really liked, like, you cannot tell what's going on with this bird, only that it's bright and amazing. So if you love orange, this might be the bird for you. Emu. Yep. I don't know what to say. Emus are fun. The white song sparrow. So drawing birds that are white. This was for that video and trying to show you highlights and shadow, and they're still coloring within white birds. A blue grosbeak. It's a fun bird. I love blue. This is the greater rhea. Very closely looking like an emu. Very, very close. So here's a green jay. This is probably my least favorite. It's only because I think jewel tones look better with a white background, and this is more pastel. This is no fault of this bird. This bird is stunning. But this bird needs a really rich dark background to really pop and shine through. And since I didn't have any time to do the backgrounds, these took anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. Yep. This is the chestnut colored woodpecker. Tons of fun. Absolutely tons of fun. Again, allocate proper time for the polka dots. This is the king vulture. This was my first time drawing this bird too. And I would love to do him more full-bodied and maybe with fine liner or something, but a lot of fun. A lot of weird things going on. I'm here for it. The whitehead's broadbill, and he's green because of course he is. Green. What a fun bird. The American crow, and if you can see, it's not just black colored pencil. So I have a lot of red and blue highlights within, showing sort of the fun things you can do when drawing black birds and the colors you can add in. I mean, I've put in pinks, I put in all kinds of colors when I've done previous black birds, but you can literally highlight with any colors you want and just kind of stick them in there and it's still a black bird, which is a ton of fun. Highly recommend. Here's a little blue heron. Mine is skewing a little purple. He is. That's all right with me. I'm okay with it. And again, I really tried to figure out a way to squish him into this page. So he's all kinds of cut off in both directions. Here's a red foddy. I don't know why he looks so cranky. Why are you mad? Gala. Fun pink bird. And I have a warm pink and a cool pink, so yep. The American comb duck, this is not finished at all. This is a much more opaque black, and I chose not to finish that time and product. I just didn't, I'm running low on the amount of black I had left. So it's very pale gray and it's supposed to be a rich dark black. But look up comb ducks if you are interested in the bill situation. It is amazing. This is a blue Dacnus. And again, there's no solvent on these, it's just colored pencil. Golden pheasant. This was my first time drawing this one. While it looks like the reference I used, I still don't care for it. It just doesn't look real. Like, you look too magical or majestic. I don't know what the thing is, but you don't look right, babe. Here's the kakapo. And this one worked. And all the blues and things are in the beak, so this one was fun. But I mean, again, I cut a portion off and it was still almost 3 hours, so time. Purple grenadier. Northern spotted owl. And this is one that lives by me. Hi baby. I'm sorry you are endangered. All right, so moving into November. Monochromatic colored pencil. Monochromatic colored pencil if you're into hairless cats. Not everyone is. Colored pencil, and then Uniball Signo, so you can kind of see, boy, I don't know if you can see it shiny, but it does shine a really nice gold. Patterns and fish. So here we have Pilot Pen and Uniball Signo. Sort of fish amongst the seaweed, maybe. Lots and lots of dots. Lots and lots of dots. This is fine liner. So without adding any gouache, if I just use a fine liner, I am able to get this sort of effect. It just takes a long time. Colored pencil. Just drawing a tulip. I don't know. I think I was in a mood. Here's another charcoal portrait, and then it just sort of expanded out, but lots and lots of blending to make sure it wasn't streaky. And freckles are so much fun. If you are interested in getting into portraiture and your face that you've drawn needs something to break it up, consider freckles. Fine liner. It's just a lot of fine liner. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Colored pencil. This one I did put a blender pencil over it. I don't think it helped. It didn't help. Okay, fine liner. And I didn't even go to the top and bottom of the page. I have an A5, and this still took 3 hours. So figuring out shape and design and hatching and what I wanted this to look like. Yeah. Fine liner. And there's a fish in here that's totally lost amongst the plants with the birds, but that's okay. Composition. Really need to work on composition with that one. Lizard, snake, seahorse. No, I'm not starting a clothing brand, but yeah. Decided to draw them with a fine liner. I wanted to draw some things and then I just overlapped them. Fine liner, colored pencil. Yeah. Birds. This is threes. So we have three. We have three. I think there's 6 leaves. Like it's all in threes. And this is fine liner. Fine liner. Fine liner. And hair is so much fun. Just a scribble. Scribbles are so much fun. Fine liner and then Uniball Signo for this sun moon type deal. And my owl has roots. So he's staying put. This is a rhino with wings and he's pouting. Rhinos are critically endangered and I love them so much. Here's the other brush pen with a little gouache and sweater weather for sure. Fine liner. This whole thing is fine liner. So we have crows, we have some floral botanical things, we have a portrait. There's a lot going on with this lady. So she's never alone. She's one with the birds. This is fine liner too, even the really wide portions. With the hand, kind of statue, kind of person. I don't know. Just really experimenting. Fine liner. And then there's a little bit of pilot colors in here. Yeah. It took a while. Plus working on a hand. Really trying to challenge myself. Brush pen with Uniball Signo on top for the botanical motif. It just needed something else, so I just did flowers on top. Fine liner with colored pencil. What pen is this? This looks like, gosh, this looks like a Tombow. Is this a Tombow? Something like that. Anyway, portrait. Fine liner, lots more sweater weather. When I have time, if I can start early, I can go slower and I can spend the 3 hours really leisurely. I can do things that are more detailed, that are stipple, where I'm paying attention to texture and composition and what exactly I want where. And it shows when I have more time to dedicate. This is a Tombow pen, I believe. Some sort of pen. Again, fine liner. When I have time and I can go slower, I can work on the composition, I can work on the face, I can work on details. It's more relaxing when I have more time, but most days I do not have more time. Most days I have less time. This is a Tombow, and stuff was on my mind. Brush pen and a little gouache, just a little bit, to make sure things are blended out. So I love rabbits and hares. Alligator with bubbles. Brush pen and gouache. Living his best life. Leopard with Uniball Signo, and I did butterflies and some leaves. Yeah. Monkey. Brush pen. Lots of dots. Oh my goodness. Red panda. Yes, our zoo has some lovely red pandas, and they are nocturnal, but when they bring out the grapes and do the talk, they come out and they're super cute. I love them. So, brush pen and Uniball Signo. I really like the gold on that pen, which is why I have so much of it. Brush pen and trying to figure out jewelry and stuff. Brush pen. Brush pen, Uniball Signo, fine liner, and colored pencil. I just couldn't stop with this one and just kept going, adding elements to it. I don't know. I just wanted to. Brush pen. So how do you know when you're done with your art? When you have to put it away. Tombow and Pilot pen. I don't have a lot of orange pens, but I do have one that's a Pilot. So, complementary colors. This is a Tombow with fine liner, and I just hand lettered on top. Yes and no. Hand lettering's fun. Tombow, another rabbit. Munch. Tiger. Love tigers. Love tigers so much. Tombow pen. Another Tombow pen. Portrait. You can tell I'm out of brush pen. Tombow, and then I went over it with, I think it's a Posca. And the Posca is just not very opaque, but I did try. Pilot pen. I mean, it's the same kind of as a Bic, but, and then trying to figure out negative space for the hands. Tombow. This is a whole lot of fine liner pen. She just, she looks electrified. I don't know what I was trying, but I did try a thing. Fine liner. Tombow, it's a giraffe. And then I did a little bit of gouache to try and pull him out from the background. Oh, a fine liner. And up close you can really see how, like, not opaque that is, trying to make an 05 fill in the blanks. This is Tombow. It is a Harvey Le Pen, and then a little tiny bit of gouache for botanicals with this portrait. There's botanicals with a portrait, Uniball Signo with a Tombow. Just trying different textures and designs. Tombow with Uniball Signo. Oh, I don't even think... I took a Pilot on top of this one and did flowers. You can't really see it. It didn't really work. Darker pen is probably needed for that. But this is Tombow and the Uniball Signo. This is fine liner. Cats. Roar. And I just decided not to color that in and give it a word. Don't know. Bird with botanical. This is one of the birds of paradise that has such a fun tail. When you choose to do things in black and white and fine liner, you really lose the color, but that's okay. Like this one has yellow and blue. I can't even, that bird is amazing. I'm trying to figure out botanicals and portraits with shadow and highlight and negative space. Again with a fern. And we're gonna get started. Again, this is the second to the last page. Tomorrow is the last page. We're gonna do this one together. Well, just draw with me. Grab your sketchbook and hang out with me. This is the Tombow, it's the 565. I don't know their numerical system. I only have like 6 Tombows and they're very old. But I'm gonna try a thing and we're gonna see if I can make this work. And if I can't, well then shucks, I tried. Yeah, so. I am going to be doing a couple extra videos this week. I want to have something on Monday for January 1st, but I may have 2 videos on Monday. So, I mean, if you want to watch them, great. If you don't, that's okay too. I just have some final things to finish up. I want to do sort of what I purchased for paper for 2024, like a haul video, while doing my low buy. And then I want to do sort of a planner tour, and maybe I'll just create a playlist. I'll only update that playlist once a year of me, what my filled planners look like. But some people really enjoy seeing how different folks fill and use their planners. And since I'm so insistent on using a different planner every year, I think that it makes it kind of interesting. I mean, maybe not as cohesive as it should be, but it does make it interesting. I'm trying to do fingers. Can you tell? I'm trying to be good at this, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't. When your plans have plans for you, you know? I do try. Maybe there's hair and things. I don't know. We're going to go with it. And we're going to hope that this works. Again, I really did not practice hands very much this year. Should have. Should have done a lot of things. But the main challenge was, can I do and create on the same piece of paper every single day for a year? So the year challenge was the paper. I feel like I've done that. I feel like this paper and I know each other very, very well. Don't know that we're fans. No, this paper is fine. It's a great way to sort of have a very neat and tidy collected year in 2 sketchbooks, if you're into things like that. I probably won't do it again though. It's sort of the thing you do once and you're like, yeah, I tried it. It was interesting, but I don't need to do it again. So everything is a learning curve when you're constantly trying new things. And that's kind of the name of the game here. Like, I really want to try and do different stuff. Woo, streaky. This is one of my Tombow pens that is in better shape than the others. This was not a strategic choice. This was a choice made out of, yeah, I know there's blue in that pen. So that's kind of where I'm at the end of the year. It's less about, yeah, I would really like to do more browns, but I'm not into fighting with my pens that are running low on ink. I just don't want to fight with them anymore. So I'm not going to. I need to clean up my supplies to start for the new year and get everything sorted. I have not received all the things I have ordered. That is one of the issues I'm currently having with Amazon. Oh, Amazon. I did mention I lived in a forest, right? So an Amazon Prime just isn't it's not quick. It isn't. But I'm really hoping that, you know, things come eventually. I don't know. I don't need these things right away, but it's kind of a bummer not to have them for the video. I could throw in pictures of them. I'll do that, but I just want you to know that I did try. I did order things in advance to make sure this didn't happen, and it happened anyway. So, you know, life gets in the way. We did have highway closures and some stuff, so I don't know if that's the delay or if it's the company that's shipping stuff. I don't know. But we're gonna roll with it, and I'll explain, and it'll be fine. Won't have all the visuals, but trying. The keyword is I'm still trying. and I made executive decisions on things and sticking to a budget. So that's always nice. So, can you tell I don't pluck my eyebrows? I feel like people who pluck and shape eyebrows, like their own, are better at drawing eyebrows because they understand like the arches of what that's supposed to look like. And some people just have very dynamic, very amazing eyebrows. And some folks like draw theirs in to look more interesting. And I feel like people that do stuff like that understand more than I do. So if you shape or draw your eyebrows, tell me your secrets so I can understand how to draw a better eyebrow. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Okay, we have an eyeball, so at least we're seeing now. I have a little bit of a nose, but I want to do something weird here. Let's try this. Anyway. Oh, you're like, what in the world is she doing? I'm trying to do daisies. I'm trying to do petaled flowers. I really want, you know, botanicals to get in the way of my portrait. It's a strategic choice, is what it is at this point. That's what I feel. Oh, it's a bit slapdash, isn't it? I'll probably go in with more stippling later just to smooth out some of this, but I really thought like petals instead of lips would be interesting. Again, I don't know if I'm the one that should be consulted with this stuff, but it is my illustration, so we're making executive decisions here. Get sort of a neck. I don't know. And then we'll come down here a little bit. Like a faux shirt without having to do a shirt. That's my logic. I don't know what it is. Like, I have zero interest in clothing, but that adds such a fun textural design that when I do choose to do that, which is hardly ever, I'm always glad I did because I really love the end result. But it's not something that speaks to me. I'm gonna go right off the page a little bit. There we go. And we'll go off the page here too. Create some things. Anyway. Just a fun, quick doodle. I thought I would, in real time, draw with you in a sketchbook for a sketchbook tour. I've never done that before, so I thought it would be kind of cool. Draw on a face. See how fast I can sort of turn one out. I don't know if it works. I'm gonna have to play around with it and mess around here. Definitely add more stipples, I think. But yeah, a face with hands. I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. I just really love portraits. I really love animals, and once in a while I have a hankering for a flower, apparently. So I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.